You just got the promotion, the one you've been working toward for years. You tell him, and instead of celebration, you feel it immediately. A shift. He goes quiet. His response is flat. Maybe he says, "Congratulations," and suddenly your victory feels smaller, tainted, like you've done something wrong by succeeding. And you wonder, is this about him or is this about me? Today we're decoding what his reaction to your success actually reveals. And once you understand what's happening, you'll finally stop shrinking yourself to make him comfortable. When you announce success and he goes silent, something is happening in his nervous system. Your achievement triggered a wound, not because you did something wrong, but because your growth activated his attachment injury. Here's how it works. A man with avoidant attachment learned early that love feels like control. So when you become more successful, more independent, more capable, his nervous system reads it as a threat. You're moving away. You won't need me anymore. I'm losing you. His withdrawal isn't punishment, it's protection. He's trying to re-establish distance because closeness feels dangerous. And your success made you feel too close, too powerful, too independent. A man with anxious attachment learns something different. Love is conditional. It only exists if he's needed. So when you succeed without him, he panics. If you don't need me, you'll leave. His response might be to diminish your achievement, create drama, or demand more attention. He's trying to pull you back down to a level where he feels safe. Neither response is intentional cruelty. Both are nervous system reactions to being triggered. But here's what's crucial. Recognizing the pattern doesn't mean accepting it. Your partner's reaction to your success isn't random. It's rooted in childhood. If his caregiver withheld attention when he performed well, if love felt conditional on his usefulness or his achievement, he learned something devastating. Your success means my love decreases. Competition became dangerous. Other people's wins felt like his loss. When you succeed, you're unconsciously triggering that ancient lesson. Your nervous system sees your growth as a good thing. His nervous system sees it as abandonment in progress. Some men learned that love was finite. If you got the attention, he didn't. If you achieved, he failed. The math of his childhood was, your victory equals my loss, and that math still runs his nervous system today. This is why he might use the "congratulations but" phrase. It's a way of saying, I acknowledge you, but also here's a problem. So you're not completely safe, so I still matter, so you still need me. Or he might become distant, physically or emotionally pulling away, which sends the message, your independence is too close. I need distance to feel safe. And the deeper his wound, the more desperate his response. Here's what his reaction to your success tells you. His capacity for secure attachment. A securely attached man celebrates your wins because your happiness makes him happy. He doesn't view your growth as threatening his position. He views it as expanding both of you together. But a man with avoidant attachment will withdraw because he's scared. A man with anxious attachment will demand more because he's insecure. And a man with disorganized attachment might do both, sometimes celebrating, sometimes withdrawing, depending on how triggered he is that day. This isn't a judgment. These are attachment wounds, injuries from his past that he's carrying into your present. But, and this is essential, they are his responsibility to heal. When he goes silent after your promotion, that silence is information. It's telling you, this is where my attachment wound is. This is what triggers my fear. This is the edge of my emotional capacity right now. You now have a choice. You can accept his timeline of healing. You can shrink your success to manage his feelings. You can stay small so he feels safe. Or you can recognize that his capacity is limited, and you decide whether you're willing to wait for him to expand it. But the worst choice is believing his reaction is about your worth, because it isn't. Many women make a choice at this exact moment to diminish themselves. They stop sharing wins. They downplay achievements. They make their success smaller so it doesn't trigger their partner. They unconsciously send the message, your comfort matters more than my growth. And in that moment, something dies in the relationship. It's not love, it's authenticity. Because a relationship that requires you to shrink isn't a secure relationship. It's a conditional one. It says, I can love you, but only if you stay small enough that I don't feel threatened. The avoidant partner who needs distance interprets your shrinking as confirmation. See, I was right. She would leave me if she could, and he stays defended. The anxious partner who needs reassurance interprets your shrinking as fuel. She does still need me. I can feel like she can't survive without me. And he becomes more controlling. Your shrinking doesn't solve his attachment wound. It reinforces it, and it costs you everything. So when he goes silent after your victory, here's what needs to happen. First, recognize the pattern. He's triggered. This is his attachment wound responding. That's clarity. Second, don't shrink. Keep celebrating your win, not to punish him, but because your growth matters. Because you matter. Because a relationship that requires your smallness isn't worth staying in. Third, give him information. I see that my success triggered something in you. I'm not asking you to fix it right now, but I'm also not going to stop succeeding to manage your feelings. This is my growth, and I'm claiming it. Then watch what he does. Does he start doing his own work to expand his capacity? Does he go to therapy? Does he begin recognizing his pattern? Does he actively try to celebrate you even when it's hard? Or does he double down? Does he create more drama? Does he punish you more for succeeding? His answer tells you everything about his capacity for genuine partnership, and his answer determines whether you stay. Because you deserve a partner who celebrates your growth. Not despite his attachment wounds, but even with them. Someone who's willing to do the work to expand. Your success isn't a threat, it's a mirror. And how he responds to that mirror is who he really is.